Welcome back, DNA Strand crew, to the newest episode of the Dynasty DNA Morning Show, brought to you by the Dynasty DNA Podcasting Network, covering all things Week 6 today. I was talking to Tashera last night for Start Sit. It's hard to believe, but man, we're starting to slowly creep up on halfway being done with the NFL season. I don't like to talk that way because it just goes way too fast. But, we were also talking, me and Slim, this morning about these London games. We got a lot to talk about here. And of course, we're joined here in the Dynasty DNA Morning Show by my first co host, Justin Tessier, better known as Tashera. Tashera, you ready for another Lions victory here today? You think they're going to pull out another W for you?
Absolutely. I think it's going to be a feast of a game against those Chiefs. They don't know what's coming.
That's what I
They're
like to
like that
hear.
asterisk game that Mike Tirico liked to call it last year, where they beat him with an asterisk because some people were missing. And now this game, they're just going to stop all over him and shove that asterisk right back up Tirico's ass.
That's what I like to hear. Tashera is fired up. I like it, and if you guys get the win, I would love that today. We're also joined by my co-host of the Dynasty DNA Deep Dive. It is Noah Hutchinson, the real Slim Shady, Dynasty DNA Zone, real Slim Shady. Slim, the Sliminator. How you feeling here about Week 6 now? We got a lot to talk about. The chat will be open. We'll be taking questions, of course, from people. Start sit, trade advice, anything NFL, but you ready to talk some Week 6 here? And you guys have done a really good job on these player props. So you think you got some good ones for us today, Slim?
I think I do. I think I do. Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes, but I think there's some real spicy ones out there today that I like. So
Oh,
and
down goes Captain.
oh yeah, but I think it'll be a good week. I think there's definitely a couple of games that are really interesting. So I think we'll have a couple really good games to talk about.
Do you think the Patriots Saints game could actually surprise us for some fantasy performances we weren't expecting, or things that might be just dominating factors that we should go with the betting lines?
Yeah, I'm actually on the Saints plus 3.5 today. I like the little hook that they're giving us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's one of my upset plays. I think even taking them on the money line, a nice little spicy money line, is not bad. Um,
Oh,
All
yeah,
okay.
right.
I
I
think
did
we could
not
have
think that.
I
I
think we
thought I
could
was
You
have
gonna
know,
good
see.
performances. So yeah,
Wiz is not here, and I swear he probably did this on purpose. It was probably something that he did. I was just talking, and it was like, boom, my screen went blank, and I'm like, what happened? So
Oh,
I closed my laptop, and it comes back on. I blame Wiz. I think Wiz had a lot to do with this. But what were you guys talking about there?
we were talking about if we thought the Patriots Saints game was going to have some surprising fantasy outputters today.
I think it definitely could, man. We talked about this a little bit last night. This New England team is a team we want to try to get dynasty assets in more quickly. And, there's a lot of things on that team that I'm definitely interested in. So, I do think Drake May, and we had this question last night to share. It was interesting. A 4-point passing touchdown league. Someone was saying, should I start Jaden Daniels? Should I start Drake May? Considering it was 4-point passing touchdowns, we said Jaden Daniels, right? Because of the rushing upside being a little bit better there. And we know the Saints team ain't just a pushover like we talked about. They will fight you tooth and nail. They ain't a good team. Don't hear what I'm not saying, but I do think that they are a team that will fight you tooth and nail. So Drake May is a guy that, it's interesting though. He's put himself into that conversation. Now, Slim, I know you were a little bit down on Drake May. Are you starting to change your ways a little bit there?
Well, it's funny because you missed my little thing. I said that I was on the Saints plus 3.5 today, and I don't mind sprinkling a little on the money line for the Saints today too. I think that's a real feisty
ooh.
team, and I like the Saints today a lot. That's one of my little upset picks of the day. Is I think the Saints are spicy, and I think Kamara gets it done on the ground. And I think until the Patriots start giving Travion Henderson the ball more than Ramondre Stevenson, then I don't know, man. I just don't seem to trust it. Ramondre puts the ball on the ground way too much at this point.
So to share out Drake May, I mean, you think that we're going to see more of the same? Do you think he continues to build on what we've seen?
I think so. I think he'll get some effective defense from the Saints, but I think he'll have enough in the tank to do it. Fired up Stephon Diggs. to win the game. I think that they might punch them in the mouth for sure, but I think overall, I think the Patriots will still go into New Orleans and come out with the win.
Okay, interesting thoughts. So, Slim, let's talk about it here. Your Seattle Seahawks today. What do you think coming off that tough loss there against Tampa Bay? That was a very good game last week, arguably the best game of the week. I want to kind of pick your brain on them right now as we get ready for week 6. Do you think they rebound this week? And where are you at with them?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it with the line movement too. Seattle started as plus 1.5. Now it's minus 1.5 for Seattle. Seattle 9-1 on the road under Mike. So that's like a crazy good stat as well. And it was just a back and forth game, and people wanted to blame Darnold, and I'm like, you can't blame Darnold for one pass off a guy's helmet. I mean, it is what it is. Both quarterbacks played really well, and there's got to be a winner and a loser in every game. So, Tampa Bay got the best of us. I think Tampa Bay gets the best of the 49ers today as well. So, I don't think it's that bad, but I think the public is a little too hyped on Jacksonville's win over Kansas City last week, and I think that's the reason why this line is where it's at. And I don't know, man. The line seems really weird to me. I don't think Jacksonville's been as great of a team as what their record shows. So
So you're not believing in Jacksonville?
Oh,
no, I mean I'm not. If you can stop the run, I don't think that Trevor Lawrence has really been able to find the receivers this year and whatnot. Especially with him having Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter out there. I don't think he's been able to find the receivers. You just got to stop the run, and that's something Seattle's been really good at doing. Other than and I mean last week it still wasn't bad. I know there was no Bucky, but teams have killed Seattle through the air, especially with the injuries we've had at corner and whatnot. And I just think that if you've got to put it on Trevor Lawrence to go out there and throw 300 yards, I'm not sure he gets it done today.
Yeah, and we talked about this too, right? And I do think that's going to help benefit Seattle being able to stop ETN. That does seem to be what the Jaguars want to really focus on. And just so everyone knows, the chat is open. You have start sit questions. You have anything you want to talk about, drop it in there, and we'll definitely talk about it, right? We are always enjoying doing that. So that game to me is going to be a good one. We got the Dynasty DNA pick'em today. And let's just get right into that as we await some of these questions coming in here. So we'll start out right now, and I will be sending this list to Wiz. We'll see if he gets it off. He's gone into ghost mode right now. I don't know if maybe he's in a bad service area or if he's just like going to one of them darkness retreats like Aaron Rodgers did because of the way the Ravens are. I don't know, but I haven't heard from him. So we
You want one of my start sit questions first, TJ?
Yeah, I do. Let's hear it. What do you have?
All right. So I've got 2 flex spots, and I need to start 3 guys. I've got 3 guys I could start. Okay.
Okay.
It is DeAndre Swift, Marvin Harrison with no Kyler Murray probably, or Chris Olave. I need to start 2 out of 3.
Well, if it was me right there, I think that I'm still going to start Marvin Harrison because I'm just anxious to see what he does with a different quarterback, right? Like we know that the whole Kyler Murray thing hasn't been lovely anyway for him. It seems like the connection hasn't been that great. And Jacoby Brissett is like a competent backup guy, right? Like if I had him throwing to Marvin Harrison, I don't feel horrible about that by any means. And then we talked about it, the New Orleans Saints and the New England Patriots, Chris Olave. That's interesting. We have DeAndre Swift coming off the bye week, but as Teixeira mentioned, and I do agree with them, I do think they want to try to get Monangai going a little bit more, especially between the tackles. So I think I'm going to go with Olave there. So I'm going to go Marvin Harrison and Olave. I don't know if you have any difference in opinion there, Slim, or Teixeira.
Slim today.
For Slim is what I was getting at. If you have any difference in opinion for Slim, Teixeira, what do you have for us? Do you agree with me or are you going another direction?
Yeah, I agree with you for the most part. Like the way Slim was talking about the Saints really got me feeling that maybe Chris Olave breaks through to the end zone today for you. And I think the recipe for the Cardinals even have a fighting chance in this game against the Colts is to get it to their studs and find ways to get the ball to their studs. And for lack of better resources and out of necessity, that's Marvin Harrison Jr. Brissett's got to do his best Jameis Winston impression and just huck it, chuck it, and find him down there.
For sure. So I think that's the route I would take, Slim, for sure. We
All right.
have Philip asking,
Yeah.
Will Flacco help the Bengals at all? So what do you think, Slim? I mean, look, we know that the offensive line is our big buddy, Big Bob says on the Dynasty DNA deep dive. He is not thrilled with the Cincinnati offensive line. He said it at the start of the year. That is a problem, but do you think that it's going to be better than what Jake Browning gave for the Bengals there, making the switch?
I think so. One of my plays today is Cincinnati plus 14.5 against Green Bay as well. Take all those points. I mean, I just like the veteran presence of Flacco. I think, yeah, he's not mobile, but I think he'll survive enough, and I think he will help these playmakers on Cincinnati a little bit more than what Jake Browning was. Browning looked terrible behind that offense and running that offense for 3 games, and it was awful. So I mean, I think Flacco's an upgrade over Browning, but I'm not sure that Cincinnati at this point can catch Pittsburgh or Baltimore when Lamar's healthy. So, I mean, I still think Cincinnati finishes third, whether they kept Flacco or not. I just think that uh, transitioning into Flacco kind of cements them as being a third place team in the AFC North, where like starting Browning every week was probably going to have them fight Cleveland for the fourth spot.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was definitely trending in that direction. But I mean, in a way, maybe you wanted to go that route, right? Like, but I do think they got to try to sell seats, of course. They got to try to keep Jamar Chase's head on straight, T. Higgins' head on straight. So, them are some things that I do think that matter, and you do got to consider. But a better draft pick probably at this point for Cincinnati wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for sure. But let's go ahead and start the pick 'em round here. And like I said, I will send this list to Wiz. I posted some start sit stuff up on Twitter here. We'll see. We'll probably get a huge response over there. It seems like people always are chiming in. But here we go, Slim. The Dallas Cowboys at the Carolina Panthers. Who do you like in this game?
Oh boy, let me pull up my list here. I've already got it all put together. All right, so I took the road team here. I took Dallas. I think this will be one of the higher scoring games of the week, though. I do think Carolina puts up a really good fight, but I think Dallas just, I think Dak looks too good, and I'm still a little out on Bryce Young too. So, Bryce Young, I think this should have to be a game where he doesn't make any mistakes for them to have a chance to really hone down and win this game. So I think I'm gonna go with Dallas today.
Okay, he's going to go with the Cowboys. What do you like there to share? Are you going to go Dallas or are you going to go Carolina?
This is a battle between my head and my heart. My heart, I want the Cowboys to lose. I want the Panthers to win. But my head's telling me, like, dude, every time you pick the Panthers to win, they've burned you. And now you're really sitting in a hole in this pickup. So I'm going to go with the better offense to win this game. I'm going to go with the Cowboys. I think Dak Prescott's going to have a 30 plus point play fantasy performance. I think Jake Ferguson gets his way in the end zone. I think as begrudgingly as it is, I think Javante finds his way into the end zone too, and everyone has a good day on the Dallas side of the ball. And I just can't count on the Panthers to play mistake-free football. I haven't seen it, so
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm going to go with the Cowboys as well. And look, we know that Carolina, I mean, they had a chance to drop that game to Miami as bad as Miami's been. And, they did come back and win. So that was always, something that was nice to see. Ricky says Dallas always. Yeah, I mean,
oh
hey, I will say this, Ricky. I am going with them this week, no doubt about it. And I'll put the chat up there on the screen. I forgot to do that.
yeah,
You
let's
guys are
see what we
welcome.
got here.
Yeah, your guys are welcome to chime in. We love talking, start sit questions, anything week 6, anything teams, NFL related, fantasy related. We'll be here for you guys. So, clean sweep for the Cowboys. We'll see what Wiz does if he responds here or hops in. But I'm going to go with the Cowboys as well. Let's go over to the next game here on the list. And this one's going to be the Los Angeles Rams against Wiz's Baltimore Ravens. The Rams are the road team here, Slim. Do you think that the Rams just roll like we seen the Texans did right through Baltimore?
Yeah, I think they do. Baltimore 32nd ranked defense, I believe, which is funny enough because I think they're now behind Cincinnati, which seemed like a hard thing to do at the start of the season because Cincinnati seemed to be the worst one. It's funny that the AFC North seems to have a couple of the worst defenses in the league. But and I'd love for the Rams to come out here and get punched in the mouth, but without Lamar and without the playmakers on defense, I don't think Baltimore's got a chance in this game. So I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Okay, he's going to stick with the Rams, and I know that kills Slim being the Seahawks fan that he is. Teixeira, what do you like here? You like the Ravens or do you like the Rams? Do you think that there's any chance the Ravens could maybe pull this out or keep it close? Where are you at on this one?
Look, we talked about it last night with Matt Stafford and the Rams that they're going to be hucking and chucking that football around, that we expect him to have a great fantasy performance game today. I think that the receivers are going to feast on that sloppy secondary in Baltimore. And I think that the running game for the Rams is going to do just enough. I don't think Kyron's going to have that big of a game, but I think it's going to be enough to where they control the tempo, control the pace, and keep the drives limited for the Baltimore Ravens, which lends into the recipe that we talked for the Panthers is they got to play mistake-free football and they got to score at every drive. And I think that the Rams, that's something that they could do today. And if the Ravens can't counter that, I think this should be an easy type win for the Rams against the Ravens. And as hard as that is for Wiz's team, it's the state of where they're at right now.
Yeah, I know. And like I said, I feel for Wiz right now. So I think for his mental health and for his clarity on everything, it'd be nice if the Bears could keep going for him to give him something to be happy about. Teixeira says, no, he don't like
No, no.
We'll go over now to the next game here on the docket. And Slim, it's going to be your Seattle Seahawks going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who do you like in this game and why?
I mean, as I've already said, it's got to be Seattle today. 9-1 on the road under Mike. And at this point, I don't know if Seattle wants to win the division, and I don't know if they want like a good seed for the playoffs. Maybe Seattle would be better being a 7 seed because gosh, it seems like we play good on the road, you know. And I mean, I see the Duval there in chat, man. You guys had your week last
There
week,
it
man.
is.
You had your Super Bowl win there against Kansas City. Now you get to see what a quarterback looks like in Sam Darnold that has really good
Oof.
receivers around him. Like Kansas City, they have no run game, and they have no run game. It's just rough for them, and Seattle, they've got the run game. We got two great receivers on the outside. Barner's looking real good. I'll take Seattle, and I don't care about the -1.5. If you got it early in the week, it was +1.5. Seattle all day.
All right, so he's sticking with the Sea Chicken. Slim is. He's going to try to get a bounce back win this week. He ain't believing in what Jacksonville did against Kansas City. What do you think about this one, Teixeira? Is it going to be Seattle or is it going to be Jacksonville?
This one's razor thin. It's the tale of two teams. I mean, Seahawks coming off a tough loss against the Buccaneers. That's one that they let slip out of their hands and get away from them. And then the highs of the Jacksonville Jaguars beating the Kansas City Chiefs last week. I think they're going to come together like an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. But overall, I think just the better football team as a whole is going to come out victorious, and I think that'll be the Seahawks.
All right, so give me the Jacksonville Jaguars coming in, riding off a high right now. And just because, look, I do think the Seattle can definitely win this game. I really think that this is more 50-50 than people think. And this is really for my friend, the Irish Con down there with the Duval shout out. Now, if we could just get BTJ going, if we can get him going,
please.
I'm feeling really good about it. This defense for Jacksonville, Teixeira said it. I watched that game. They are very, very legit, just as much as Seattle, right? Seattle's got a good defense. I do think that this is going to be more of a low-scoring affair. Like, I don't think either team's going to really light the scoreboard up. And it could be just coming down to one possession. And, the Jacksonville Jaguars are a team that's riding high on confidence right now. And I like to see that in football teams. That does make a difference whenever they have faith and they have belief. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this AFC South plays out for the whole season with Indianapolis and Jacksonville both kind of performing above expectations there. So we'll see where that kind of leads us. But let's go over now. This one's for Bob. This is the Bob Bowl.
Hey, TJ, breaking news. Quentin Johnston ruled out today.
Okay.
Changed lineups. I know that's a big one. I'm starting him in some places. So Quentin Johnston went from questionable to out right now. So
I'm glad you shared
lineups.
That. Yep, I'm glad you shared that, Slim. And that is a blow because he's been a guy that's providing some points. And, if you do have Lad McConkey now, this definitely is going to help, your cause there. So hopefully, maybe that'll help the Lad McConkey owners out there see some more target production. But let's go to the Bob Bowl here. This is the Bob Bowl. The Tennessee Titans versus the Las Vegas Raiders. This is for Bob. Like, if I could just, I think we all need to get together and just say we gotta make Bob watch this game. Be like, okay, Bob, this is the only game you can watch.
Yep.
This is the only game you can watch. You gotta watch it at 4:05. He'd probably be like, it would just ruin his whole week if we made him watch that game. But the Tennessee Titans at the Las Vegas Raiders, Slim. Who you taking here and why?
I mean, I got to take the better team, and that's gonna be the Raiders today. It's got to be right. Like Tennessee, they got their first win last week on a fluky win, man. On a game they shouldn't have won, that's for sure. Like Arizona did everything they could to gift wrap that game for them. An interception, fumble, touchdown type thing, and like just some crazy plays. But yeah, I think the Raiders get it done here at home. And if you remember, my big preseason bet was Raiders over. I think it was 6.5 wins. They're at 1 right now. I think they get their second one today. Taste a little bit of more of the sweat off of my over bet there. So.
All right, so Slim is going to take the Raiders. He needs them for that over bet today. This one has to come through for him, no doubt, to maybe have a chance at that still. He's going for the Raiders. What do you think, Teixeira? Is it going to be the Raiders or Titans? Who do you like today?
I'm going with the Raiders today. I talked about it yesterday about this should be a Genty game, a big Genty game. And I think that the Titans got away with murder in a way last week, beating the Cardinals. And I just don't think lightning strikes twice for them. And this is just going to be one of the messier games, one of the sloppier things to watch that we have to watch at some point to review these players. And I think it's just the better run game here comes with Las Vegas, and I think that that's going to be the storyline of the game is who can control the clock, who can control the tempo and the pace and more possessions, and I think that's going to be the Raiders. Not necessarily scoring more points, but they have to win, but it's just going to be one of those low-scoring, nasty games we don't like to watch for fantasy or for NFL purposes.
Oh, 100%. So what is this thing? It's like, lightning struck once last week, and you guys goaded me into taking the Tennessee Titans. So I'm going to take them again. Give me the Tennessee Titans to win this game, because if there is a game that they could hang around just like Arizona, it is against these Las Vegas Raiders. Geno Smith has been a turnover machine. And, hey, man, like, you guys got to make up some ground. We talked about it. I got a nice cushion there in the pick'em round.
Yeah, you do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's right. I can get a little bit more crazy. So you guys playing a little bit more conservatively, I think. But I have a good feeling there about Tennessee again this week. And like I said, I put more confidence in them. They come through for me once. They can do it again. Now, we have a start-sit question here on Twitter. As I mentioned, I just posted that. They're starting to come in hot and heavy. Okay. We have a flex play question, Slim. It's going to be Kamani Vidal or Romeo Doubs this week. Who are you playing in the flex?
Romeo Doubs has been one of my starts this week just because of some bye weeks, some injuries and whatnot. And he goes up against Cincinnati's defense, which is, I think, 31st now. So I'm going to go with Romeo Doubs today.
All right, Romeo Doubs for Slim. Who you going with here, Doubs or Vidal, to share? Any difference in opinion there?
No, it's just my perspective is I don't trust the Chargers backfield right now and how it's shaken up, and I don't feel comfortable putting either of those backs in my lineup this week. If I can try to avoid it, I will. So the lesser of the two evils, I'll go with Doubs, Big Head Doubs, because I think it's a relatively decent day. I don't see it being as high of a ceiling as Matthew Golden, but I just don't trust that Chargers backfield until we get to see some film, some tape, and how when Vidal and Haskins are on the field at the same time with more of the workload, how they distribute that there in that offense.
Okay. I am definitely in agreement. Give me Romeo Doubs this week. And that is just a big thing. We don't know what's going to happen with this backfield for sure, right? We have to see where that kind of leads us. And you can't jump to conclusions. You can't sit there and say this is going to happen for sure. And as Slim said, this is a very tasty matchup for Doubs. And I believe before the bye week, what did he have? 3 touchdowns? I mean, he is a guy that can separate himself from this pack a little bit at times in the Green Bay wide receiving core. So I'm going to go with Dobbs there as well. We have the neighbor's neighbor asking on Twitter, who do I start in my flex half point PPR between David Njoku, Haskins, Hollywood Brown, or Bam Knight? So who does he start in his flex half point PPR? Now, let me just say this before I let you guys give the answer. Njoku, Haskins, Hollywood Brown, or Bam Knight. We talked about this on the Start Sit show last night to share, Bob, myself. You know, I have been flexing tight ends, and I don't have a bad feeling about it just considering where we are with all the injuries. So where are you at on that, Slim? If you had to pick one of those guys, David Njoku, Haskins, Hollywood Brown, or Bam Knight, who are you taking?
I think I'm going David Njoku, and I don't mind flexing a tight end either. I've been doing it a little bit more, and you've got Pittsburgh. They're going to come after Dylan Gabriel today, and I think it could be a big day for both tight ends there in Cleveland. Jerry Jeudy doesn't seem like he's able to get rolling. It seems like that all Cleveland has is Judkins and then maybe a couple tight ends. So I actually don't mind starting both Cleveland tight ends in certain spots that you need them.
Okay, so Slim is flexing David Njoku, and he feels good about it comparatively some of these other options to share. Who do you like out of that group? And I'll read them for you again. David Njoku, Haskins, Hollywood Brown, or Bam Knight?
I think out of all those, I like David Njoku. I think I'm going to roll with this meta strategy we got going on that you talked about of flexing tight ends throughout the year because it seems to be paid off for me, myself, too. And I just don't see high of a ceiling for those other three guys. I think Njoku could be a great security blanket for Dylan Gabriel with that pass rush from the Steelers. And if he falls into the end zone, I think he's likely the best option to get you 6 points this week is David Njoku.
Okay, so David Njoku, clean sweep. I agree with you guys. And, you know, if there's one thing I know about the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I know them very well, tight ends, little slot receivers, kill them, right? I remember talking about Cooper Kupp. I remember talking about some Hunter Henry. Like, these guys do business against the Steelers. So I wouldn't be surprised if Njoku even don't get some kind of a fluky touchdown in this game, right? Like, if it happens, I would not be surprised in the least. So I'm going to go Njoku there as well. As we talked about, I don't trust like the Bam Knight situation. He just got named the starter today. I don't trust, you know, the Haskins deal with the Chargers backfield where that's kind of leading us, right? Like we don't know anything about any of that right now. And with the Chiefs, Hollywood Brown is just like a pig in a poke, right? It could be hit or miss. Now I do believe is Xavier Worthy out this week?
No, I don't think so.
I thought he was, but if he is or he isn't, it's really irrelevant.
I got me licking my chops. If Worthy's out, we're gonna pressure the hell out of Mahomes.
Yeah, I do believe that he is out, just so you know. I thought that I seen that. I could be wrong, but I don't want to be sitting here putting out fake news or anything like that. So, but
Worthy ready to face Lions in week 6.
Okay, so he is ready to go. So don't listen to me. It was fake news. Maybe I seen something on Twitter and someone was pulling my leg, but we have another question here. Drop Kendrick Bourne for Jawan Jennings. So would you drop Kendrick Bourne after that performance for Jawan Jennings? Slim, what would you do right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think Jennings comes back and takes that role back. I mean, I'm not going to put too much hype into the one performance that he had. Bourne's one of those guys where I'm not even sure you're really starting him in a lot of places anyway.
Okay, so what do you think about that Slim or Teixeira?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I know I keep getting that mixed up, but usually I call him Wiz first, and he ain't here, so that's what's really throwing me off. But what do you think about this, Teixeira? I mean, honestly, I will say this. It is kind of interesting to me because we know Kendrick Bourne has that Mac Jones New England connection as well with all that together with Mac Jones. So I don't know. Do you think that Jawan Jennings comes back and just overtakes him? But we do know Bourne is kind of a streaky hit or miss player. We've seen that in the past.
Do we know who was the quarterback today for the 49ers? I don't know the health status of
Mac Jones.
Yeah, Brock
Purdy's that's out. The case. Yeah, I'm rolling with Kendrick Bourne. That Thursday night performance, that connection they have there. I'm not trying to look for touchdowns here. I'm looking for volume and opportunities, and I think that he's got the trust and the rapport with Mac Jones. And I could see him having himself like a great day. And I just one thing is the deciding factor. I think the crucial one is health, and he's a lot healthier than Juwan Jennings right now, and has been in the past. He just hasn't had the opportunity to be put into that role. So as he stays healthy, I think I'm holding on to Kendrick Bourne and leaving Juwan Jennings's roster for a grenade to go off on because it's getting closer to this playoff push, and I want to have more healthier, reliable options. I don't want to be thinking about, oh, is he going to be fully healed or recovered from this week? Is he good to? Is he going to be slowed down? And I just like what I saw from Kendrick Bourne last week.
Okay, and I do agree. I think I would hold on to Bourne for now, but I do think the longer term play, you'd probably want to try to get Jennings. But I mean, the short term here, I do think I would just hold on to Bourne for one more quick second. But he is that guy. Like, I don't believe in him long term. He's a guy that's just been kind of boomer bust, hit or miss. So someone I'm just not over highly believing in. So let's get back to the pick 'em round here as we wait more questions to filter in. And we'll go over to the next game on the list. And it's going to be the New England Patriots versus the New Orleans Saints. I do believe that Slim called an upset in this game. Are you going to go with it in the pick 'em round? Are you going to stick with that, Slim?
Oh, I got to. Yeah, I'll stick with it. Saints are a real feisty team, and they're at home today. So I like taking the home dog today. I think Kamara has a pretty decent game, and I think we talked about Olave maybe having a really good game today too. So that's what I'm going to bank on until New England figures out that they need to keep Ramondre Stevenson over there on the bench and just run Travion Henderson. Then I think I might be picking against them.
All right, so Slim is going to stick to his guns here, Teixeira. He's going to go the Saints. Are you going to go for the Saints or the Pats? You going to let him convince you, or are you going to stick with New England?
No, I'm going to stick with New England. I'm going to stick with that patriotic wave, that momentum from last week's win against the Bills, and let it splash all over the Superdome down there in New Orleans. And I think Drake May is just going to put on a clinic on that Saints defense and have his way with them. As far as the offense goes and the defense, I think Saints need to play mistake-free football because that defense is really showing up and starting to really hold teams to having to beat them through the air, and they're really shutting down that run game.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I think that I'm with you. I'm going to go with the Patriots here too. I do think the Saints ain't going to lay down. I said it.
Yeah.
Slim is right. They are a feisty team. But I do think that Drake May is starting to take this step that we all wanted to see slowly but surely. Somewhere Bob and Ty are really smiling right now as we continue to talk about Drake May. But let's go into the next game. The Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Slim, who you taking here? Browns, Steelers, who you going with?
And it's tough picking against a team coming off a bye, right? Like they get an extra week to game plan, they get some extra rest. But I like Cleveland today. I like Judkins. I like Dylan Gabriel figuring it out, and I think I'm going to take Cleveland on the road today. Let's take Cleveland. We'll see how that goes. But this Pittsburgh defense, they're old, and that worries me some.
That's what I said, Slim. We talked about it. Kenneth Walker can run against them. Anybody can. I mean, that's the thing.
Judkins might have 200 yards today then.
He might. He might. He definitely might. Q is RB1 for you. We talked about it all offseason, right? And what do you think about this here, Teixeira? Is it going to be the Browns or the Steelers here today?
I'm going to go with the vets in this situation. I think the experience is going to carry over and take their way to the win of the game. These players like Aaron Rodgers and TJ Watt, these older guys are just going to know what it takes to get the job done. And they're not going to let their NFC North rivals embarrass them in their own house coming off of a bye week. So for that, I'll go with the Steelers.
All right. So let me say this. And I do agree with some of the things that Slim said. I do think that this game's going to be close. I don't think that we're going to blow Cleveland. Well, we don't really blow anybody out. We haven't done that in a long time. So let's just get that off the cards right now. But this is a game that I am worried about the running attack of Cleveland. I am worried about Myles Garrett on Broderick Jones. That's going to be a disaster. Broderick Jones sucks. I'm just going to be honest with you. But I do think that the Steelers, as Teixeira said, have enough experience. I do think that they're at home. I do think they win this game. Now, if it was in Cleveland, I'd be more concerned. But
Oh, yeah.
considering it's a home game, I do think the Steelers have enough to get it done. And I will go with the Steelers today. But expect a low-scoring, sloppy type affair. Like, I think that that's where we're going to be for the game today for the Steelers and the Browns. But let's go over to the next game here on the docket. It's going to be the Lions and the Chiefs. Slim, who you taking here? The Chiefs dropped this one. It's kind of not really going to be a pleasant situation for them. That division's still kind of up in the air. But man, oh man, they dropped this one. I think there could be big trouble. Who do you got here, the Lions or the Chiefs?
Well, early in the week, I was able to snag the Lions plus 1.5. I think that line's actually went up now. I think the Chiefs are actually favored by like 2.5. I'm gonna take Detroit, man. Like they look like one of the best well-rounded teams in the league, and I mean, I get that if Kansas City drops this, we could be talking about no Kansas City in the playoffs and whatnot, but I just think Detroit is too much for him at this point, and I'm gonna go with Detroit on the road.
All right, he's going to go Detroit Rock City with Dan Campbell. Slim is, Slim, you're too tall to be biting kneecaps, so you got to be careful there. I mean, I don't know if you can get down that far and bite people's kneecaps off. You might just have to bite their head off. I mean, where you're
Right.
at. So, I like to call out Detroit for Slim. What do you think, Teixeira? Do your Lions have a little something today for Kansas City?
Yeah, I think I sent you that picture of the group chat of Dan Campbell standing behind Patrick Mahomes, and he's going to be that worst nightmare for that Chiefs offense. That defense is going to come out and really put a test on the Chiefs and not let them coast their way through the game and hang around and do their typical Chiefs thing of like, oh, we're just hanging out here. No, I think this is going to be one of those games where the Lions know everything that's impacting it going into this because the Chiefs are going to probably see the Chargers go ahead and win their game against Miami. You're going to see the Raiders beat the Titans, and they're going to see the Broncos probably beat the Jets, and that's going to push them further down the ladder. So the pressure is going to be more on them to win the game here. And with that pressure being on them, that kind of takes the ease off the Lions to just do their game, do what they know that they're really good at, and that's run the football. And it's going to be, this I want top. If Jared Goff has a great game against the Chiefs on the road, outside, in prime time, I want that narrative to drop dead. It's just, it's like you guys said, they're the better team and they should win this game. And there's by no means that they should have the Chiefs just hang around and play with them. I think this is going to be something that Andy Reid is going to have to look back at the tape and be like, yeah, I just got out coached and outplayed. And I think the Lions should stay at the division and take this handed win and move on to the week.
Yep, I agree. Giving the Lions in this game too, but I do think that this is going to be a back and forth seesaw type of a game. It'll be a good one, no doubt about it. So we'll see what happens here on Sunday Night Football tonight when that game. But let's go over to the last game here on the list: the Chicago Bears at the Washington Commanders. Slim, here we go. Chi-Town versus Washington. Who do you got in this one? Because I know that you like both teams. So I'm kind of curious to see, does Chicago pull the upset on the road, or are you going to go with the Commanders here?
And I would really love Washington if Terry McLaurin could ever be out there and play football again, because I have him in so many leads, and this whole he turns questionable and I got to move him out of my IR, and then by the time Saturday and Sunday comes, he's back to out, and I can move him back down and whatnot. It's so annoying, it really is, but I still think Washington gets it done, and it's one of those things of that just Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback than Caleb Williams. And I said it all last year. I said it before the draft process last year that Jaden Daniels was the QB1 out of that class. And, I mean, I know there's certain people on this network that would probably almost say at this point that Drake May is the QB2 out of that draft class. So Caleb Williams might be fighting for that spot now, too. But I'm going to go with Washington at home here. I've done a lot of road teams today. We're gonna take the home team for tomorrow night.
All right, interesting. And we know Ty and Bob Might even be as bold as to say Drake May might be the number 1 quarterback. We know how
Oh,
they feel. We know
we
how
can't
they
let that
feel.
disrespect happen, though. Put some respect on JD.
We know how that happens. So Slim is going to stay with the Commanders here at Teixeira. Do I have to ask who you're going with?
No, we can move on. We know who it's going to be. It's going to be the Commanders.
Teixeira is going to take the Commander. So, in the spirit of the fact that Wiz isn't here today, I have to take the Bears to win this game in an upsetting fashion.
Where's the
On
Slim?
the
Give him the
road.
buzzer.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not allowed. I don't get buzzer privileges. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Here, how about this one?
No, that's the wrong sound.
Come on.
You
You
pressed the wrong
regret
one.
that on Tuesday.
Well, as you guys we talked about, right? I have a little bit of a cushion. I can get a little bit crazy, but Wiz isn't here right now. So, like I said, I got to try to keep his thoughts in this. I don't know if he'd take Chicago in this game or not, if he'd be that bold, but we got to have a little bit of fun. We'll see what happens. I think even if the Bears lose this game, if they keep it close, as long as they keep it close, we'll see where it goes. I think that could be a step in the right direction any way you would look at it. But we got another question here on Twitter, and it's going to come from the fantasy football tribe here, a guy that always asks questions, and I'm anxious to see what you guys think about this one. Half point PPR, pick 2, Ladd McConkey, Marvin Harrison Jr., or Tet McMillan. Supposed to rain in Carolina today, 10-15 mile per hour winds. Thanks, appreciate it. 35 mile per hour crosswinds as well. So bad weather in Carolina. You got to pick 2, Ladd, Marvin Harrison, or Tet. Who are you taking out of the 2? You just going to bench Tet in that bad weather game there, Slim? What's your outlook on that?
Oh man, I don't think I am, and it's rough now because I like the Ladd news about no Quentin Johnston. I think that could be a good game for Ladd now, especially with them having they're down to RB3 or practice squad RB, or maybe signing Dalvin. I think I've seen something about that too, signing Dalvin Cook maybe, or putting Dalvin Cook on a practice squad, something like that. I think, and I'm starting Marv in my league, but I think I would start Ladd and Tet today, just because I think that Carolina game, even in bad weather, I think both of those teams are still going to throw the ball and still going to score a lot of points.
Okay, so you're going to stay with Marv and Tet. He's going to bench Ladd.
I'm gonna start Ladd and Tet. I'm gonna.
So you're gonna bench Marv. That is Slim benching Marv.
It's the backup
I thought he was a forgiving
man.
I thought it was Slim the first.
It's the backup quarterback, man. I think that's what's doing it for me. I don't know if I trust Brissett enough to. I'm rolling him out there in my league, but I have no better option really, other than if I want to roll out Swift the next day or whatever. But I think with Ladd, I think without the target competition now, it's only him and Keenan Allen, so I think he gets more targets today. And then I just think that Cowboys-Panthers game is high scoring, whether or not. I think it's a high scoring game.
Okay, so he's going to stick with it. So he's going to bench Marv. He's going to play Tet and Ladd. Where are you going to go with this, Teixeira? Does the weather bother you, and you're going to go another direction here?
Yeah, the weather does bother me because, again, I make my point about the Panthers need to play mistake-free football. I think that lends to the narrative that it's going to be a mistake-filled football game, and that's going to limit the opportunities and the upside of a Tet McMillan if Bryce Young is throwing it to the wrong team or fumbling it because he can't handle it, or what may you if it gets bad. And I just think that that's too worrisome to me, where Bryce Young could end up playing like a backup quarterback. So I'm going to go with the better weather conditions, despite the Jacoby Brissett starting. I'll start Marvin Harrison Jr. hoping for he gets into the end zone or gets a deep shot to make up for the lack of volume that he may receive in today's game. And then I'll go with Ladd McConkey because all the points and reasons that Slim pointed out about opportunity and volume, and just the narrative of this could be a game where Herbert's going to have to rely on his arm. I know I talked about it earlier in the week, where this could be a game where Herbert's going to have to become a diamond out of this pressure and really use his arm and his decision making to help the Chargers win the game. And I think Ladd's going to be the top receiving option out of that.
Yeah, I'm going to go Ladd and Marvin Harrison here. It's nothing against Ted. He's been that solid 10, 12 point guy every week. But I do worry with Bryce Young's arm ability, right? Like his arm talent. Like if the winds are really that bad, I mean, is he going to be able to really drive the ball enough to get it to where, it can get to Tet McMillan down the field a little bit more? So I do love Tet McMillan. I think he's a solid player, but I mean, the Brissett thing, like, yes, it sucks that you don't have Kyler Murray in there. But again, there could be a worse backup coming in than Jacoby Brissett. Like, I mean, and honestly, the way he plays football, I would not be surprised if Marvin Harrison were to explode or something. Like, I mean,
Ooh.
if it were to happen, like, and that's kind of something that I think everyone needs to watch. Like, if Marvin Harrison Jr. really has a big blow up type of a game today, like, really, we got to start really talking about this chemistry and this connection between Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. Like, is it so much Marv? Is it more Kyler? Like, there's a lot of questions that could be asked after today's game, but really three really good options. Like, I don't think you could make too much of a wrong choice either way. And really, like, I could see a world where they all kind of score similarly. Like, if they all scored around that 12 to 15 point range, I wouldn't be totally shocked or anything like that. So let's go into the next question here. He's got 2 leagues, this guy. He needs a flex in each. The first one, he's got 1 flex spot for Hassan Haskins, Michael Carter, Travion Henderson, Darren Waller, or DeAndre Swift. So he's got 1 flex spot, Slim. I'm going to read the names again. Hassan Haskins, Michael Carter, Travion Henderson, Darren Waller, or DeAndre Swift.
Well, I mean, he might have 5 names, but he's really got 2 options.
Damn.
It's either Henderson or Swift. That, in my opinion, those are the 2 options. And I mean, I think at this point you've got to start the guy that I think could see more volume, and I think that's Swift. I think I lean Swift, but Henderson's definitely the better player. But I think for this week, I think you've got to start Swift.
Okay, so what do you think about that, Teixeira? We'll read the names again for you. Hassan Haskins, Michael Carter, Travion Henderson, Darren Waller, or DeAndre Swift?
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with them. There's only 2 playable options here, and really only 1. And to me, I'm gonna keep rolling with that strategy we talked about a little bit earlier. I'm gonna go with that meta of putting my tight end in the flex spot. I'm gonna do Darren Waller against these Chargers. I think that he has the more upside of getting into the end zone this week and getting a little bit more volume. We know that Tyreek Hill is out. Jalen Waddle is about as hot as cold as it gets, and I just don't think that with Trayvion's situation that they're ready to give him the full workload. Or guy said last night on the episode of releasing the leash out of him, and I think that really is going to cap his volume. So I'm going to go with the hot hand of Darren Waller this week.
I love it. That's exactly what I was thinking, Teixeira. I think that I'm going to roll with Mr. Waller's neighborhood because I'm going to tell you right now, like you said, there is a volume, that can be found in that offense with Tyreek Hill obviously being gone. And the fact that the Miami Dolphins, I've said it, they're good at 2 things that you can rely on offense. They're going to dump the ball down to Devon Achane. He's going to get these runs. He's going to get them opportunities. Or he's going to throw it to the tight end in the red zone. And we've seen it with Jonnu Smith. That really helped elevate him. These little passes underneath. Waller is just slowly but surely building himself back up to full game ready mode, and he seems to look better every week. And like I said, he could see a ton of volume. I do agree with what Slim said. Like, Michael Carter and Haskins ain't even on my radar. The other 2 would be those other 2 running backs, but it's just so hit or miss with Henderson. We don't know what to trust and what not to trust in New England. And I don't love the matchup for Swift this week. I really don't. And I know what you said about Monungai. So give me Darren Waller. I think that will be, the right play. I think that he's going to do well again. I think he could be a double-digit point guy this week, even if he don't get in the end zone. I think he could catch 4 balls, for 60 yards. Like, I think that's totally possible. So let's go over to the next one here. This is also a flex. I'm going to ask you, Slim, Keenan Allen, DK Metcalf, Hassan Haskins, or Darren Waller again. So needs a flex here. A little bit better
Spooky.
options. He's got Keenan Allen, DK Metcalf, Hassan Haskins, or Darren Waller. So where are you at on that one?
Well, once again, Hassan Haskins didn't even make the list when you read it the second time. That just didn't even happen. And realistically, I think that I don't know what all the love for Waller is, man. I mean, I get it that he's had a couple really good weeks and whatnot, but like I really feel like that if you're starting Waller, you're banking on a touchdown, and that's just my opinion, especially if it's like did he say it's tight end premium as well or
Mm-hmm.
not?
No,
Okay,
I
so
don't
like
think it is.
yeah, I'm not even sure it's tight end premium. So then you're getting 1 point per reception. So if he catches 4 balls, he's got 4 points or 40 yards is probably another. So he's getting like 8 point. I'm gonna go with DK Metcalf. I'm just stalling for Metcalf, but I think I'll go with DK Metcalf today.
Even in the tough Cleveland matchup this week, Slim.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things like the only other option would have been Keenan Allen only because of the news of Quentin Johnson, of course, but I'm not sure. I think Ladd takes that larger role this week now with Quentin Johnston being out. So I think I'm going to go with DK Metcalf for a big splash play. I think he could score more points than Waller scores all game in one play if he gets a big bomb touchdown.
Okay, so to share other flex, Keenan Allen, DK Metcalf, Hassan Haskins, or Darren Waller, who you playing in that group?
Yeah, Haskins is immediately out. I'm leery about the quarterback play and the fantasy point output, like just being a high scoring game with the Steelers and Browns. I don't see any like big flashy. Like I think it's gonna be a gritty NFC North typical game. Uh, so I'm kind of out on DK Metcalf. It's between Waller or Keenan Allen, but I'm gonna go with the little bit older dude, and I'm gonna go Keenan Allen. I think that he's gonna get a little bit more involved in this, and I think that he could be a guy that if Vlad McConkey doesn't show up or prove to be what he's done before, that Keenan Allen, we've seen earlier the first two games of the year that Herbert can hyper target him and get him focused in the end zone. And I can see that happen at least once against this Dolphins pass defense that really doesn't scare me at all.
I think I'm with you, Tashara. I'm going to go K. Allen as well this
Oh,
week. I do. I mean, like
I
we
thought you were
talked
going
about. No,
Waller for sure.
no, I mean, look, I mean, you give me a receiver that can, like we talked about. I do think that Ladd and Keenan Allen both could be benefactors here this week for the fact that there's no Quentin Johnson. The running game's going to be pretty much non-existent in this offense. Someone's got to get the ball, right? And them two guys could, I mean, between the two of them, I still think there's enough there for each of them to eat and do well. So we'll see what happens, but I'm going to go that direction too. So I'm going to stick with you there. But let's go into the player prop pool here. Anytime touchdown scoring running back this week, Sliminator. Who finds the paint?
Yeah, I struggled this week to get a good odds guy this week for running back, man. I really did. So when it comes down to it, I just had to go back to old reliable, and that's Ashton Genty for an anytime touchdown.
Oh, you better hope Bob
Oh,
ain't tuning in this morning,
it's
Slim.
fuel for his
He'll be,
fire.
he'll be in the chat, no doubt about it. So Slim's going to go for an Ashton Genty anytime touchdown. Who do you got for the running back position this week, Tashara?
Oh man, I got two bouncing around. They're both rookies. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna stick with the formula. I don't think that Dylan Gabriel is gonna get it done and put the ball in his hand and win the game. I think if the Browns want to win, they gotta put it in Quinshawn Junkins' hands. I got Quinshawn Junkins anytime touchdown.
Oh, as much as I hate that against my
I know.
Steelers, I do think it'll happen. I do definitely agree with you. So I don't mind that call out, but I got one here. Let me just play a little something here to give you a hint on who it might be here.
You guys want to see my video? Man, I wish I could go back in time. I'd take state. This is pretty much the worst video ever made.
So anytime touchdown scoring running back, who do we have here this week for me? Any guesses on that to share? It seems like you have an idea.
Is it Alvin Kamara?
Nope, not Alvin Kamara. It is Slim. Any guess? Because it seems like you're not having anything come to the top of your head there.
go back in time. I was thinking Derrick Henry, but I don't think that's right either.
It's going to be Uncle Rico Dwaddle this week for the Carolina Panthers. Give me Uncle Rico this week.
What are
for
his
anytime
odds? They got to be
touchdown.
high. It's a revenge game.
It's a revenge game, and I'm telling you right now, I said about buying them for a pair of socks, man. Hopefully you went out
Ooh.
there and did it.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, Rico's looking good in this
I think all three
Carolina
of us could hit today. What's the $10 bet?
What's a $10 bet?
Yeah, the odds aren't great. A $10 bet pays back $66.
Oh, that ain't bad. That ain't bad.
So
that's gas, buddy.
That's what we're looking at there. Yep. And it's gonna be let's see, it's gonna be Genty minus 130, Rico minus 125, and Quinshawn plus 110. So they're all. Well, I mean, we've got really good odds there to hit that one, guys. We really do.
Okay, so I think I could make some money for somebody. Let's go into some receivers. Anytime touchdown scoring receiver this week, Slim. Who do you have?
I'm going right back to that game that we were just talking about. Actually, we're going right back to that Dallas Panther game, and I'm taking Tet McMillan to score a touchdown.
Ooh!
Oh, he's gonna go with that in the wind today.
In the wind.
Okay, so
that's 6'4", man. That wind ain't gonna bother him. It's all good.
Well, his lollipop arm quarterback, it might bother. I mean, geez, man, Slim. I like Bryce Young, but he don't got a cannon or anything like that. So, all right, so Slim is going to go with his guy, Tet McMillan, for an anytime touchdown here today. Who do you have for us to share anytime touchdown receiver?
We talked about him quite a bit at ad nauseum, and I did it a lot earlier in the week. I'm going to go Lad McConkey here. I think this is the game. He gets back, he gets peppered heavily with by Justin Herbert. So I'm going to lean Lad McConkey as my answer.
All right, anytime touchdown wide receiver. He's got Lad McConkey this week, and you know what? I like that play. I can appreciate that play. But, I'm going to go with the guy that I had in the start game. He is a guy that's building himself back up. It's a guy that Ty's very friendly and likes a bunch. Give me Stephon Diggs anytime touchdown today for the New England Pats against those New Orleans Saints. I mean, this is a guy, I think they said for the last 2 weeks, he's only behind Justin Jefferson and someone else in like most seen targets. So, I mean, he is a guy that's getting the target looks a lot. I think he can do something with this week, man. Give me Stephon Diggs for an anytime touchdown. Slim, what would $10 win you on that one?
$10 wins you back 167. So we're rolling now. That's a good little.
Just wait until we get to tight ends. I got a spicy one for y'all.
Our tight ends are gonna be super spicy.
All right. So what? Who had the worst and best odds in the receiver group there?
Lad McConkey plus 135, Tet plus 150, Stephon plus 185.
All right, there you have it. There you have it.
So I went safer. I thought he'd be the spiciest.
That's probably because the Quentin Johnston news. It was probably a lot higher until that happened.
Yeah.
Okay. It probably dropped. Yeah,
probably for sure. But let's get into the tight ends. Anytime tight end touchdown scorer, Slim. Who finds the paint?
Well, we said we're going super spicy, right? So I'll tell you what, I'm scrolling.
Diablo.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, he's not near the top at all. He's behind some guys I don't even know the name.
Hey, we can't pick your guy. He plays Monday night.
Oh no, this guy plays. This guy's playing. It's gonna be a guy that got a new quarterback this week. Joe Flacco's gonna throw him a touchdown. It's gonna be Noah Fant for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Noah Fant.
Oh, former Seahawk.
Noah Fant. Slim's going with. Okay, is it Ariel or is it what is it? Sands Font. Noah Fant. I like it. All right, so he's gonna go with Noah Fant. That is a good one. That is spicy for sure. Tashara, who do you have for an anytime touchdown tight end scorer this week?
I'm going to stick with the theme here. I'm going to see the 6 degrees of separation. I'm going A.J. Barner of the Seahawks touchdown anytime.
The guy that definitely has gotten some looks, no doubt about that. we're going to come over here to me now, and it's going to be my anytime tight end touchdown scorer this week. And, it's going to be a guy that we want to talk about spicy. I think that he could definitely score a touchdown in this game. It's going to be Michael Mayer for the Las Vegas Raiders going up against the Tennessee Titans. No Brock Bowers. We want to talk about getting out there, getting someone that could maybe take advantage of this. I think Michael Mayer could be a guy that could do that. So I think that that's where I'm going to go with. What does $10 win you there, Slim?
We went real spicy. We went real crazy. $10 pays back $1,379.40.
Let's get it.
Man. That would be the bet of all bets, no doubt about it. So we'll have to see how that one turns out. But another great episode, guys. We appreciate everyone tuning in with us as always. Make sure tonight that you tune in to the Dynasty DNA Culture Shock with Big Culture Bob as he goes over some of the things that upset him the most after week 6. Of course, we always got to laugh and enjoy what Bob's going to say. Maybe you come off a bad fantasy loss. You listen to Bob, that could really brighten your day. He'd be really, if you want to talk about someone that's really mad and upset, Bob is that guy. Let him take all the anger and upsetness, put it on his shoulders. And I'm telling you, it's always fun. So make sure you tune into that live tonight between the 4 and 8 o'clock game window. We usually always do it. Check that out. If you are enjoying the content, please listen to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Pod, Stitcher, Amazon, any of the big podcasting platforms. If you haven't yet and you're enjoying the content, please follow and 5-star the show. It greatly helps, and we so appreciate it. Follow us on Twitter at DynastyDNA_. If you are listening, watching, checking everything out on YouTube for the first time, please subscribe. Shoot us a follow over here. Comment, like, anything helps. We so appreciate that. And join the Dynasty DNA Facebook page, Dynasty DNA Fantasy Football Network. DeShare is doing a great job over there. Make sure you tune in and join that too. So, we do got anytime interception thrower. I did see that, Teixeira. You guys got to stop me. Don't worry about stuff. You can always stop me.
You're on a roll. I didn't want to interrupt the outro.
You can always stop me, but let's just go ahead real quick. You got an anytime interception thrower before we close out the show, Slim?
Oh, yeah, I do. I think it's one of the oldest people in the
TJ's got mine already.
Yeah. I'm not gonna take yours. That's all right. No, I'm not that guy. I'm gonna go with a really, really old guy though, and it's gonna be Aaron Rodgers throwing an interception today against that Cleveland. I think that, and I don't think it's gonna be not even a Rodgers fault. I think it could be one of those things where Myles Garrett gets in there and smacks him, and the ball goes up, and it's just an easy kind of. Might even be a lineman interception type thing, but it could be something like that happens where the ball gets batted up and a lineman just standing there and goes, "Well, thanks for the gift, bud."
I don't know what. We'll see. I think Aaron will protect the football today. I feel okay about it. We'll see, Slim. And then, if history repeats itself, the Slim's usually pretty good at these. This is the worst one.
Yeah.
He's been cursed on the anytime interception thrower.
That is true. That is true.
He's been cursed in this.
I could have went with Geno Smith, and then this would have been the 1 week he doesn't throw an interception. I could have, but I didn't.
I bet Jacoby Brissett has good odds, too.
I think if I just start going with Geno Smith every week, maybe his interceptions will stop happening. Maybe that's what I got to start doing.
Yeah, help Geno out, man. I mean, maybe you guys
could
figure it out. That would be a good idea. So Slim's going to go at Rodgers this week. Who are you going to go with, Teixeira?
I'm going with Patrick Mahomes in prime time, under the lights. He's going to throw a pick to one of those Detroit Lions defenders, and it will be glorious. I will love it.
All right, so I'm going to go for a prime time game as well. Michael Penix throwing a pick against the Buffalo Bills. As Bob said, left-handed quarterbacks. You know how it goes. That's why I'm going to black Bob there. Left-handed quarterback playing on prime time. Interception. So that one
went to tomorrow, TJ.
That's right. That's right. I skipped.
Wiz ain't here to yell at you, so you're sneaking in a Monday night game, huh? Okay.
That's right. We can play by our rules today. Wiz ain't here to say, because you know what it is. Wiz wants to bet on these live, and he don't want to wait. That's what it is. I know what Wiz is up to. He's probably getting his bets in there right now. But
$10 pays back $67.34 on that.
Okay. That's not bad.
And
Yes, it was Penix or Mahomes. Which one was the lower odds to throw an interception? I'm curious.
Penix minus 126, then it's Mahomes minus 114, and it's Aaron Rodgers plus 100. So,
Okay.
Wow.
Interesting stuff. But hey, we got to finish watching this game. The New York Jets might have an opportunity to win a football game.
What?
Couple minutes left to go. They might have a chance. It'll be interesting to see.
4th and
But
15, they're going to get the ball back. Yeah.
yeah, they might have a chance.
In decent field position, too.
Did you hear
Yeah,
that Garrett Wilson didn't have his helmet out of the medical tent? Like, what's going on with him? Is he
Probably
hurt still? Or?
He's probably checking out. Can't blame him.
Yeah. two receptions for 6 yards. I'd cash out, too.
Yeah, it's like
when your quarterback's through. Now, what's going to be worse with this is, okay, so Justin Fields right now is 8 of 16 for 38 yards. If Denver loses this game, what does that do to their psyche?
Hey, I said it might happen. I said they could. Those international games are ruthless. They just you never know.
That's why I was big on the Jets spread. I was big on the 7.5. That was one of my early.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is the Jets have nothing to lose. We talk about that when you get into them situations. That helps teams.
We got one more question here up at the top. I think Philip he wants to see our quarterback anytime touchdowns.
So that would have to be a rushing touchdown, right, Slim?
That would have to be a rushing touchdown.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that really fastly. Who do you like in that category, Slim?
Oh boy. I think there's no Eagles, so we can't do any tush push, so we can't do any cheap plays like that.
Yeah.
I think,
exactly.
let me see what the odds are for this guy. Hang on, this might be spicy. Yeah, I'm gonna go Baker Mayfield. Takes one in himself. Say Baker Mayfield.
All right, Baker, money maker. Who do you have there to share? Who do you like?
I'm going to go with the guy who had it once in his arsenal. We saw in the past him do it quite frequently. It just hasn't shown up at all this year or lately. I'm going Dak Prescott.
Yeah, he definitely is capable, no doubt about it.
Okay.
I like that call out. I'll give you one next to Jalen Hurts. It's probably a finger roll this year. Give me Danny Jones, Indiana Jones.
Oh, I love that one.
The Indianapolis Colts. It's just like we call, the Colts tush push version. He gets down there, they'll push him in. So give me Daniel Jones.
$10 on that would pay back $1,227.
Oh, damn.
There you go.
Quarterbacks to score today, then there you go.
That's it.
If we hit on that, I want to see a screenshot.
I might just throw some money on that just for the heck of it. All right, so let me just say this. We'll jet out of here. Let everyone check their lineups.
Yeah.
Everyone has time to do everything like that. We appreciate the support as always, guys. Thanking Slim and the Sheriff for always doing this on Sunday mornings. Wiz wasn't with us this week. Same to him, though. It's a lot of work, and it's so appreciated. So you guys are the best. You guys make the shows what they are. We have fun doing them. Hopefully we can keep our streaks going on some of this stuff. And as I mentioned, check out all the other podcast shows as well. You get to see more of Teixeira, more of Slim, of course, more of Bob, more of Wiz. How could you not want to see more of Bob, more Wiz, more Mike, more Ty? My Lord, you got a great lineup there. And, I just get to sit there, and I'm like the force that brings these people all against each other. Like, I always I'm just playing one side against each other. Sometimes I'm on Slim's side. Sometimes I'm on Bob's side. And then I just do the little stick poke thing like that meme. Come on, let's go. That's how we go. So
when Genty comes up for another 2 or 3 touchdowns today, I'll have to take over Bob's little show. I'll have to.
I hope so. I hope this culture shock is fire. I hope that Genty blows up and then the Tennessee Titans win, and then now he's got both sides of he has to yell about Genty and that's to yell about the Raiders losing.
So today, just so you know, though, the Titan versus Raider game is officially the Bob Bowl. And that is something that we will be going over on the Culture Shock tonight, the Bob Bowl. So
Bob Bowl. That's got to be the name of the game now.
That definitely is. All right, guys. Well, go ahead and check your lineups. Everyone, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you all on the next episode of the